Are you a fan of these kind of procedural dramas, and do you find the subject matter a little grisly?
That's a great question. I used to watch them when I was a high school student. And I've never found the subject matter grisly, but now that we do it, when I see the dead bodies, I always think, what do people who this has actually happened to, obviously not the dead people, think of these shows? So I don't get grossed out by it at all, but I do wonder. It's pretty crazy, especially because Dylan Allen's character is so into the poetry of how the people die, and my character is so straight-laced about finding the person who did it. I do ponder on like people's opinions.
Yeah, Lizzie's very no nonsense. Is she in any way like you?
I don't like. Alan will tell you that there are definitely. He goes, bossy, controlling. Oh, not at all. But Lizzie wears her neurosis on the inside. Like, she's very straight-laced, doesn't really show her feelings. And I'm definitely the opposite, which I like, because then that means I can kind of contain all of that at work. And in my private life, it's different. So yeah, I'm much more demonstrative about my feelings, and she feels as much and as intensely, but she keeps it bottled in because her focus is always on the job, and I think her feelings are sometimes like even too intense for her to feel, so she'd prefer to like channel them into the work. And that's definitely the difference between me and her, which I like. It's fun because then I get to be different.
The chemistry you have with Alan is amazing. How did you establish that kind of bond?
It's really interesting that you talk about the chemistry, because the one thing that we knew going in was that the chemistry would be based on feelings and intellect and friendship, and never based on us, like, will they, won't they? And we established it just by hanging out and talking. Like, we both have a theatre background. We're both trained in that way. We work similarly in that regard. Work's supposed to be fun, even though it's hard and tough and the hours are crazy. Like, sometimes that just happens. I can't, there's no formula. We've been asked that question a lot, and there isn't a formula that I can tell you we prescribed to. It just worked. Like, we got along. He's really, really easy to work with and to get along with. I think that's a big part of it. And we have fun while we work hard.
What's your journey from Australia to Hollywood?
Well, you know that I was born in Serbia,
yeah.
And then we moved to Australia when I was 7, so I grew up there. And what happened for me was I went to Performing Arts High School, MacDonald College. I always remember you should say these things because people in Australia know. And then I studied at NIDA, and then a friend of mine, Tanya Goldberg, and I, who studied there, we created an independent theatre company because we weren't getting the work that we wanted, and we also weren't seeing the work that we wanted to see out there. And so I've always kind of had that background of like creating my own work, doing my own stuff. And then honestly, it's just the options. Like, there are just so many more options out here for people in our profession. And so I just came out to get the work that I wanted, because in Australia it started to become, I didn't have the confidence to come out here when I was really young, so I started to be like in my late 20s, and it started to become, well, these actresses in their late 20s had already established careers here, so they were getting the work that was on offer back home. And I was like, oh my God, and there wasn't the option. So I just think here there's more networks, there's more studios, there's more money, there's more opportunity. So I came out here for that, and that's why and how. And I go back and forth a lot. Yeah.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.